Hey hotties, how you healing? How you feeling? Feeling? How are you feeling? I don't know why I said it like that, but I'm Zenzie, and if you're new, this is Hotties Heal. So I decided to do something different today, and what I mean by that is, normally I pick from my Divine Feminine Healing deck, and that's how I decide what I'm going to talk about for the day. But I actually have been thinking about something a lot recently that I just came to realize that I want to share with you all, anyone who's tuning in. So I'm going a little off script, quote unquote, which, to preface, I'm never on script, but I'm not picking a card or cards from an oracle deck. I'm just gonna talk about something that has been weighing on my soul. Actually, I wouldn't say that it's weighing, it's just something that I came to recognize recently that I would like to share with you all. The last time that I filmed a video, now that I'm all caught up with my videos, I'm recording in real time and posting at the end of every week, or as I can. But I had been struggling because of my lidosis, and it's something that was really catching my attention a lot the last time I recorded. But it's interesting because I've been experimenting, well, not experimenting, I don't think, but I guess it sort of is an experiment because you don't know until you try. Everything's an experiment until you try it, you know what I mean? It's just testing to see if it works for you. But I've been engaging in plant medicine, and I know this is gonna seem like I'm probably going off on a tangent because I do that a lot, but this applies to the story. Anyway, yeah, I've been doing plant medicine, and for those of you who know me personally, you probably know that I've smoked weed for quite some time. Honestly, at an age of maybe before I should have been, who fucking knows? But it comes from the goddamn earth, honestly, and if used correctly, because it's a plant and because it's medicine, it can help you to uncover different aspects about yourself, because anything that comes from the earth is here to nourish us and to feed our souls, not man-made. But where I'm going with this is it comes back to what I talk about always, just reframing. I am all about shifting for the positive, and I don't really know how that relates to what I wanted to say, but there was a point in my life where I did things for the wrong reasons, and it wasn't in regards to people. I'm more so speaking about substances and how I use them. For instance, and I don't recommend this, I'm not supporting this, I'm just speaking about my story. I definitely feel like there have been times where I struggled with substance abuse or addictive behaviors, that some things I'm not proud of, other things I've made peace with. But the point is, you can use plant medicine to help you to uncover different aspects of yourself when it's used correctly. Now, I'm not pointing fingers at anyone who is drinking alcohol or smoking weed and doing mushrooms and they don't have a good intention behind it. I'm just simply saying that I think when you're using these things, specifically plant medicine, there should be some higher intention behind it. It should be an intentional thing, because those types of things exist and have made themselves accessible to us, are there for a reason, to help us learn things about ourselves and to create a higher awareness. So if anyone is going to dabble in those things, I hope that you will do them with a sense of awareness. But I'm not judging you if you're not doing that right now. You know, I've been there. I've done things to, at the time, numb parts of myself that I wasn't able to make peace with, or make me feel more confident, or give me that happiness that I wasn't able to give myself. It's not my job to pass judgment on anyone. Everyone's living their own life. I just want to put a full disclosure out there that the things that I talk about in this video are my story, and I'm not suggesting that anyone else do these things. So, moving on to how this related to my lidtosis. The lidtosis did not come from plant medicine, but because I have been intentionally dabbling in plant medicine, more so specifically mushrooms, because as I said before, I've been smoking weed for a while. It helps me become a more introspective person, and it just allows me to loosen up in social situations that can be overwhelming for me. But anyway, yeah, I have been interested and dabbling in taking mushrooms at different doses and setting intentions for things that I would like to gain through this experience within myself. And a few weeks ago, I did a mushroom ceremony with some near and dear people who are close to my heart, and also a guide. And one of my intentions that I set was for my self-image. And as beautiful as I know that I am, sometimes it's hard to see those things about yourself, and everyone has insecurities and everyone has things that they're working through. The prettiest people that you know may be the most insecure, and I'm not saying that I'm the prettiest person that people know, but I acknowledge that I'm blessed with beautiful features, and I'm very grateful for that. But I have been struggling with lidtosis, and it can happen sometimes from Botox, and it's not anyone's fault but my own, because I didn't know that you're not supposed to sleep on your sides after you have Botox, and I did, and the Botox migrated and gave me lidtosis. So my eye has been drooping, and in order to fix it, I had to insert Botox into my lid, which lifted the lid, but now my eye is not closing all the way, and the camera was really picking that up in my last episode that I filmed. And I was feeling so uncomfortable with myself because I'm not used to seeing myself that way, and I don't see myself that way. But I've been suffering from this. Suffering, I use that word way too loosely. As I've been dealing with the lidtosis, I did a guided mushroom experience, and self-image had already been one of my goals for this before this had happened to me. But I was able to experience it in a different way, because I was able to see myself for who I truly am and not for just my looks. I think for a really long time in my life, I leaned on my looks because, I don't know, people oddly made me feel like all I was good for was being pretty. And I didn't necessarily know that I was smart or that I had valuable things to say, or I was just too intimidated to express that part of myself because of the role that society has put on women, and also being a Black woman. I just feel like I'm hyper aware of my existence on top of being an empath. So there's a lot going on with me. But the point of all that was really just to say that I am starting to see my worth in a new light, and I realize that even with this temporary dysfunction that I'm experiencing with my physical body, I have seen myself in a new light, because I can acknowledge that as beautiful as I am on the outside, humbly, I'm equally as beautiful on the inside, because I have worked really hard to make myself that way. And I was getting a little choked up because there was a point in time where I definitely didn't feel that way. I didn't feel good enough or pretty enough or smart enough or valuable. And I definitely acted in ways that I wasn't proud of or wish that I could have done better. But I have done so much work, and I actually realized that I love myself so much, but I know what it feels like to not. And my heart breaks for people who feel that way or don't feel that way about themselves, who haven't been able to experience unconditional self-love from yourself. But I'm here to tell you that it's so possible, and I am here to tell you that you are not hard to love, and that despite what you've gone through in life, or something that you don't think is beautiful or that you don't love about yourself, there is someone who loves it about you. And it can be you. Not everyone is going to like you or care about you or think that you're beautiful or see your worth, but if you see that in yourself, you're opening yourself up to just so many different, beautiful, wonderful experiences, all that you've created from within. Had a brief intermission to have some water and dry my tears, but honestly, I feel like there's vulnerability in sharing, and sharing is caring, and I just want people to know that they are of value and they are worth it, because we are all inherently those things, despite the hands that we've been dealt, despite the circumstances, despite all the people who may make us feel like we are not, we are. And I've just been believing that and aligning with that more and more as I go. And I just want to be able to share that with everyone. I want everyone to know that they can get to this place. And it's not always easy, but the easy road doesn't have as much worth and experience as the longer, more difficult one. It's okay to be comfortable. Not everyone in life is going to evolve to a level of awareness that they could, and that's okay. It's not up to us to make them come along. If people want to get to know their higher self and take that leap and go on their healing journey, they will, as I talked about in my last video. But I personally have acknowledged and am grateful for the fact that when you start this journey, you're on it forever. But it's great. It's amazing to learn new things about yourself, about others, about the world and how it works. Knowledge truly is power, and I hope more people can see it that way and stop operating from a place of fear. I'm at a place in my spiritual journey currently where I am looking to gain a higher awareness with myself, and there are certain things that I acknowledge that I've suppressed so deeply that I'm having trouble unlocking them on my own. And sometimes we just need a little bit of help to make peace with our past. We're all human, and I think in general there's nothing wrong with seeking out help from people and sources. So I'm going to be doing ayahuasca soon, and I'm very excited about it. And once again, I would like to preface by saying I don't think people should seek these things out for selfish reasons. I think if you're going to partake in these types of activities, you should make sure that you have the right intentions and that you are in a safe and trusted environment with people who are familiar with it and who have a background and cultural history in these types of things, because they are sacred. They come from our earth, and they should be done in a respectful and positive, intentional way. I first discovered ayahuasca my freshman year of college. I was 18, and as I've said before, I've always been a spiritual person. I didn't actively start saying, you know, I need to heal from things until 3 years ago, but I've been a spiritual being for as long as I've been aware that I'm alive. And we all inherently are. It's just whether you want to tap into those things. Some people are further from their spirituality and their gifts than others. But anyway, I first discovered ayahuasca when I was 18, and my original plan was with one of my best friends that I've known since I was in kindergarten. We were gonna go do it when we were 25, and COVID happened. We had different lives. I really didn't have the fun, and it's pretty expensive if you look at any of those spiritual retreats. But something that I heard actually a year ago is that when it comes to being able to have a ceremony and be able to participate in that, it won't enter your life when it's meant to. I heard that from someone that I met at work and was an angel in my life at that time. She's a very cool person, and she said that to me. And it's ringing so true now, because to briefly explain how I've been practicing my spiritual and mental wellness, I started breath work in October, and that opened me up to meeting people in the community who have done ayahuasca, and the opportunity opened itself up to me. And before that point, I knew I had wanted to do it, but I didn't have any idea how I was going to get to. I'm very excited about it, and there are certain things that I'm not going to open up about right now because I would rather have the experience without putting my intentions out prematurely. But I will definitely share my experience after, so stay tuned for that. But that whole story was leading up to me sharing something that I wrote in my journal. Now, my journal is always private and sacred to me. I've on and off had a journal since I was a young gal. Honestly, sidebar, living in my head is hilarious because I'm just so funny, and a song came into my head, but I'm not going to reference it right now. But anyway, I have had a journal on and off for a long time, but I haven't become consistent in my journaling until my young adult life, or about 3 years ago. But I wrote something in my journal, and I don't always share what I write in my journal. I normally don't. I never write in my journal with the intention that I'm going to share it. But as I was writing this, I realized that I needed to share it, and I wanted to share it. And on the day that I wrote this, that whole day I was like really feeling the need to write. So I feel like this message, even if you can't personally resonate with it right now, I think it will help you to shift your perspective. I'm gonna put my glasses on because I've been having some eye issues as I've been talking about through the whole video. But ever since I cried, my eye is like, now I feel like it's twitching and I'm blinking more, so I just need a little help focusing. Also, I've been struggling from dry eye. Ever since this whole debacle has occurred. But anyway, I'm going to read it for you guys now, and it is 4 pages, so stick with me. I called it Revelation, and there's numbers that I was channeling in songs because I channel a lot of things constantly, which is why I look up in the air a lot, and I pause a lot when I'm talking because I'm getting a lot of downloads of just things. But in this case, the things that popped up in this journal entry, I'm going to write in the description box this time, because possibly you might want to look it up or listen to it, because I did get 2 songs. But anyway, my mushroom trip has been postponed due to an unexpected Airbnb booking. Even though I think she's fine, I think I'm going to wait until after my Aya experience. A lesson I continue to learn is that patience is a virtue, and divine timing has been at play my whole life, because I am divine. Humbly, I admit that I feel I'm an angel roaming earth. Deep down, I know and inherently understand why I chose this and why I'm here, but I get bogged down by the mundane of life, and memories still make me shiver. A song that consistently enters my brain these days is Spirited Away by Black, fucking king. But the words that are on a loop are, so I'm finding any reason to detach. Gotta get to healing from my past. And I feel that so deeply. I understand that I'm here to heal, feel, love, and grow. And even though these things can be painful, I understand my purpose and the greater purpose overall. Sometimes people have to hurt us to teach us things about ourselves. Furthermore, everyone is living out their lives based on their own experience, and 9 times out of 10, they're reacting based on those experiences. So I find any reason to detach from the pain I've experienced. It doesn't serve me to hang on to it. It will not define me. I can choose to protect my peace and forgive, continuing to have hope and faith in humanity, and share that with others so that they know that they are safe to do the same. This world isn't always the kindest, and I can see how it has turned many cold and closed them off to connection. I think people fear connection because once we connect to something, we love it, and when we love, we fear its loss. Well, what if instead we were able to focus on how lucky we are to have experienced it at all? What's that quote? I'd rather love and loss than never loved at all. And that couldn't ring more true. That's why despite all, I continue to choose love, especially to those that have hurt me, because I have a feeling that they need the love the most, and I choose to forgive. I forgive myself, not for always showing up in the best ways, and for not loving myself enough in these moments and forgive others for the same, while also understanding that forgiving does not mean forgetting. And once bitten, twice shy. But there can be a sense of peace and understanding that comes with knowing why things happened the way they did. And there's also power in choosing to love in a society, circumstance, or relationship that tried to fill your heart with hate. It's easy to hate. It takes strength to love despite it all. And to love doesn't mean you have to have it in your life. You can love and know you're better without it, but remain grateful for what it taught you about yourself, and that you even got to experience it at all, or that you have an opportunity to be better for it. And aside from the song Spirited Away, I also got Symphony by Zara Larsson and Clean Bandit. And the numbers that I received were 8, 13, 16, 55, 4, and 11. I will write all of this in the description box, as well as probably put a picture of it on the screen. But yeah, I wrote that, and sometimes I don't know where I come up with these things, and I'm grateful that I have this opportunity and connection to know those things. And now I'm sharing them with you because hot girls don't gatekeep. Purr. So hotties, if you stayed for the whole video, I have a feeling this is a long one. I thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Oh, let me take my glasses off. I look like an alien. Perfect. Did you hear all that? Someone is feeling this hot weather, but I picked the perfect episode to talk about hallucinogenics because my eyes look trippy as hell with my glasses on. But anyway, thanks for being here with me. I appreciate it more than you guys know. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Thank you for listening. And I hope that something that I talked about today you can take with you. That's all I have to say about that. So if you're new here, hello. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad that you tuned in. If you feel like it, hit that like and subscribe button. Or if you're not new here and you haven't yet, like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. And if you'd like to connect with me further, I am offering esoteric experiences where I will read your cards, both tarot and oracle. I can do this virtually or in person if you are located in my city and want to connect with me and my energy. Hit me up. Email me at Hotties Heal or slide in my DMs on Instagram. I would love to connect with you. All right. Love you all. Bye, hotties. Peace out.